Hey kiddo. So the new hot talking topic around the block is the latest entry to the Assassin's Creed franchise, namely Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, the drama and the heated discussions surrounding this game seems to be primarily focused on one of the two protagonists, namely Yasuke. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. From my understanding, the game approaches Yasuke as a samurai who lived in that era, the Sengoku era to be precise. And the terminally online opposition wants there to be a Japanese protagonist instead of a diversity one, which is seen as disrespectful, I guess. I mean, as a Turkish man, when Assassin's Creed Revelations rolled around, I was just happy to see our culture there. Like, we were just happy to be involved, let alone demand a Turkish assassin as a protagonist, you know? Anywho, the discussion then evolved into Yasuke, who is a real figure that was alive during the Sengoku era of Japan. Is he a real samurai or not? Was he a samurai or was he just a normal guy who were following orders of his dear lord? It is said that Yasuke served as a retainer under the warlord Nobunaga Oda. But look, I'm sure there are a bunch of historical videos on this and I'm not an expert on this subject at all. So I will not cover what a samurai is or was Yasuke a samurai or not. Instead, I will talk about the guy who employed Yasuke and then let you decide if that dude would hire anyone less than a samurai. Okay? Okay. Enter Nobunaga Oda. Now, despite the epic music and presentation, Nobunaga was seen as a young drunk lord who just passed his days by playing music and dancing with his concubines. As such, even when a neighboring clan marched against him with an army that outnumbered his 3-1, instead of rallying his troops, Nobunaga just kept on dancing and drinking. The Fool of Owari was his moniker, a moniker that would make way for his new title after one fateful night, the night he became the Demon King. After convincing everyone, even his own troops, that he'd just accept defeat against the incoming army and just party away the night, he secretly gathers a small regiment of his most elite cavalry and rides out into the night, ambushes the enemy army, and strikes right at its center, going straight for their lord's head, and he succeeds. The rivaling clan is no more, and the Fool of Owari is crowned the Demon King. With his new title came new powers, such as his cape that goes and sometimes these dark demonic hands that sucks the life out of folk. Oh, you know the ones. Before long, Nobunaga Oda became a threat that the other lords just could not tolerate, and they wanted to put him down for good. This is where you come into the mix. Say you're a dual spear wielding young man that still has a positive attitude about life since it has not disappointed you yet, and you have the fiery passion of youth on your side to call upon even in the direst of situations. You have a friend that thinks he's a dragon for some reason and rides a horse bike that he lets you ride sometimes so you can do this. You two sneak into Nobunaga's castle, but guess what? It's actually a church-like shadow zone where he makes sounds like and then proceeds to just beat you two to a pulp. But guess what? you have another friend who is actually a Hulkbuster and a Metal Gear's love child, wielding a drill, which is a perfectly sound weapon if you're a giant Gundam that occasionally fights against farmers and peasants that pose as a samurai, and sometimes he uses that drill to attack you. Like, he's a weird guy, but anywho, he comes in to help you. But oh no, Nobunaga has the single greatest weapon capable of changing the entirety of world history on its own. A fucking gun. So bam, the Gundam dies in a nuclear explosion that is surprisingly not fired by USA, and you and your friend fail. Outright fail. And the Demon King reigns supreme. The end. Really? No, turns out his second in command is also a dick and strikes against Nobunaga to take power for himself, and he succeeds. Not because Nobunaga is an omnipotent demonic force of nature that can touch you and know your future, who can just force push you away like Darth Vader, and in the middle of combat it can give you like 420 vibes when you shoot a gun at him. Look, all I'm saying is this. With a remarkably weird and powerful lord as Nobunaga Oda, do you think he would take Yasuke in as a retainer if he was anything less than a samurai? Like I said, you be the judge on that. Was Yasuke really a samurai under Nobunaga Oda? Was Nobunaga Oda really a demonic force of nature that somehow also managed to marry this deadly, beautiful chick? Wow. Am I using this Ubisoft drama as an excuse to promote one of my favorite animes? Who knows? You be the judge. Bye, kiddo.